Previously on the Mechanist RPG.
House Mechanist has won the Grand Melee.
Holy frick.
GG, you guys.
That is amazing.
And now the adventure continues.
So, attempting to bring this storyline to a close, you guys go back to your... You guys go back to your tourney, to your tourney tents, and you get cleaned up. You can regain half of your health points, so you're still going to be, or eighth, I should say, can gain half of his health points back, so he's not at full health, but he's able to walk around. So everybody else is looking nice, and they arrive to the tourney a little bit late. And once you guys walk in, then the herald shouts, "House Mechanist!" and almost the entire Great Hall stands up and applauds your entry.
We just won 3 out of 4 events in first place.
You did, it's true.
Sorry, guys.
No, but I didn't expect to win.
I didn't expect to win 2 of them, but I knew I was going to win archery.
Well,
I was expecting you in most of these.
Which, by the way, I should probably be carted off to jail here, so...
So you go in and you sit down to the feast, and you can now roll awareness to see if anybody else is there.
bye, Brian. Nice knowing you.
13.
8.
Working.
14.
16.
Okay, so you guys see House Lugus over in the corner, and you also notice that for whatever reason, Marita Lugus is now dressed all in black, but she's still it's kind of lacy, so she's still kind of like attempting to show off her body. Of course, she's not that great looking of a woman because she's a Lugus. But she's still attempting, but she is wearing all black. So you could listen to rumors for why that's happening, if you want. In other news, Brian Telson is there, and you see him. He is dressed up really nice in his Dornish nobleman's clothes, and he is carrying his family's heirloom blade. His family's heirloom blade Scorpion with him. His Valyrian steel heirloom. You also see Reuben Piper still there from House Dannett. It looks like the rest of the House Dannett entourage has left, but Reuben Piper is still there. You also see that... No, I lied. You don't see that yet. So you go in, you sit down, and the feast is beginning.
I'd like to call Reuben Piper to come over to our table.
Okay.
Because I'm not walking in a meat hall again.
Roll persuasion.
There's no way in hell I'm standing up in this place. Ouch. Okay. 10.
So you say, Reuben, my friend, but he doesn't appear to hear you. The din of the feast is too loud.
Do you want to be carried over there?
I would like to roll awareness to listen for any sort of rumors floating around us. 14.
Okay. You hear a rumor that Marita Lugus is dressed all in black because her betrothed, Langley Woods, who fell earlier in the tournament or in the Grand Melee, has now deceased.
Of course.
We fought him.
That's the first people we fought, isn't it?
That is
Yeah,
the
we
first
kicked
one.
their ass.
Argyus. Boom.
Well, I kicked it.
Alright, is that all we can get from the crowd?
That's all you can get from the crowd.
Alright.
She was with House Dannett?
Who?
No, she was with the Luguses.
She's a Lugus. And then you also remember all sorts of rumors previously. I'm just going to give it to you. You don't have to roll cutting for this. That they do call Marita Lugas the Black Widow because she does... She has had like three previous betrothed guys who have all died in mysterious ways.
I'd like to test logic to see if I know if it would benefit her to remain unmarried.
Okay.
Pretty.
20.
Okay, so you know that from purely outside looking in, you know that killing off possible intermarried family connections is generally not a good idea. However, none of that has anything to do with her personal feelings in the matter. So I'll just leave it at that. So it is not, from the outside looking in, it's generally not a good idea to prevent two houses from forging stronger connections, because allies means everything. But if she's a Lucas, she is stubborn, she's not the most subtle person in the world, she would rather kill someone that she doesn't want to marry than marry them.
I would like to roll a woman's awareness to see if she's a lesbian.
Okay.
Is there such a thing as a woman's awareness?
I will just let you roll awareness. Well, I'll roll awareness for that. Inclination.
10.
Okay, that succeeded. So you see her, and you know that she is not a lesbian. But you also see that she likes a very specific sort of man, and her eyes seem to be flicking around the room looking at different people, but they seem to be resting on a Bravosi man with a Lucas party in particular. And you guys can roll cutting memory to see if you recognize the Bravosi.
I'd like to do that.
Memory is knowledge?
It's
Memory's cunning.
22.
This is the Bravosi that you saw negotiating with Orton in Jade Springs over something.
She was also most likely the Bravosi that sent the assassins for
Logic test on that, should we?
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Daniel.
Thank you for telling me that. Let's see if it makes sense. Get rid of that. 20.
You have only seen 3 Bravosi since you have been in town. And 2 of them were assassins now dead. And 1 is this guy hanging out with the Lucases. So it's certainly suspicious.
How would you guys feel about going over and talking to the Lugases?
I wanted to anyway, so.
I only want to talk to Brad Telson.
I'm gonna sit here and drink my wine.
You and me want to go?
Yeah, because I think we should talk to Orton.
Can we get a bonus for her womanly intuition from now on?
To talking to Orton?
I don't think Orton's that interested in women.
You think Orton's gay?
I don't know that for sure, but I don't think he's distracted by women like,
I'll roll for
like his
that.
brother is.
I think I'm attractive. I would go sit next to him.
Let's use him as bait.
I'd like to roll a knowledge check on whether he is gay or not.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, can I roll awareness instead?
I rolled awareness
You can roll around.
for sexual orientation.
Sexual orientation?
Nope. I got 10.
He's not gay.
Damn.
not
Is
into
anyone
it.
gay in this room? Can I do a knowledge check on that?
Too much. Too much.
I got a 15.
Sure, Sir Barrick Dundarian and Thoros of are secretly screwing each other. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say, bro? I have no idea. You can't check multiple hundreds of people. Several hundred people and see if...
What are you just gonna do? You're gonna shout across the place?
Hey, gay!
Just
Anybody
empathically
gay
search
around
everyone's mind.
What's a guy gotta do to get some dick?
Yeah, sure. That's exactly what I say. I'm gonna roll it for persuasion on the joking.
I'd like to defend that. No. I think you and I should go talk to the Lucases since they don't want to.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with them, but
I would like to... Can I add a die to his agility roll by putting my hand on his shoulder?
You can like put both of your hands on each of his shoulders, and you can just straight up escort him. So if you succeed, he succeeds.
Okay.
I'm gonna go sit
I'm gonna play that
at a
with
table.
Such newfangled house rules.
I'm gonna go sit at a table next to theirs, but I'm gonna be doing it sneakily, so I'm gonna roll my stealth.
Whose table?
Any table that's near their table, so that I don't have
there.
The Lucases?
the Lucases. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to hang out with them without hanging out with them.
Okay, so I'm rolling agility to see if I can get us across the room.
Yes, you're rolling agility.
Incidentally, the one time I roll agility for fake, I get boxcars. So
That's 14.
Okay, so you get over there fine.
I got a 9.
You get over there fine.
While everyone's moving, can I go sit by Brian Telson?
Yes, you can. Roll agility.
16.
Why do you want to go to talk to him?
Okay.
I want to go with our guys. I'm going with our guys.
Everybody roll a d20. Only one of you can roll a d20.
rolling.
And see whose interaction goes first.
Oh shit, I got an 8.
I got 17.
9.
Okay, so you two first.
Alright.
You're standing in front of the Lugas table.
Alright. I would like to talk to Marita Lugas.
Okay.
I'd first like to wish her our deepest condolences on the loss of her betrothed. Of
We're
course,
a bunch of bastards.
in any trial by combat, these things happen, but we are deeply sorry that
Okay.
such an event would occur to her.
Roll persuasion.
May I charm her?
Sure, you can try.
Actually, I don't want to charm her.
You can try it. No, go for it.
It's really scary.
Do you look much like a Bravosi? He's throwing dice across the room.
Crap. This is not going to come up.
Not bad.
Alright. 15. I've apologized a lot.
You apologize for the loss of her late betrothed, and as you're talking about how these things happen with the trial by combat, her eyes glint with something knowing in them, and she smirks slightly, and you continue and compliment her on how well she's taking it and doing it in a very sort of suave James Bond-esque sort of way, even though you're like 100 years old. It's kind of gross. And so, as you continue, her smile becomes complete, and she's obviously amused that you're attempting to hit on her, but she's not impressed.
I would like to glare angrily at the Bravosi with no sort of concealment at all.
Okay,
I would like to knife the
roll
little Lucas
persuasion
back.
because you're trying to intimidate. In the meantime, Marita thanks you for your kindness. She says kindness, so thank you for your kindnesses. And she doesn't really say anything.
Your
And she
kindnesses.
kindnesses. But I'm used to the loss of lesser men at this point.
I rolled a 9.
That was
Okay,
just
so the Bravosi
castrating.
it kind of like looks at you with a "why are you giving me this death glare" sort of look, and he's not really worried at you, but he's certainly inquisitive. He's wary, I should say.
I'd like to speak to Marita again.
Okay.
Now that our squabble between our houses has been resolved, we would very much like to further our relations between our two houses.
Ugh.
Could you introduce us to the people at your table?
Okay. Roll persuasion.
I'm still charming her.
No. Convince me.
No. So
14.
14. Okay. So she kind of giggles and she says, what squabble may that be? No matter. And she starts to try to introduce people at the table, but before she gets a chance, Nathan Lucas turns around and you see his face, and you see that he has a very large black eye, and his left eye around it is all black, and his left eye is actually completely swollen shut. Because of the thrashing that Baron of Mechanist gave him in the tourney, and he knows that you're a Mechanist. He lists out a whole bunch of expletives that is too long for me to relate to you, and too inappropriate. Even too inappropriate for this current thing, as we're rolling for sexual performance.
Your
and such.
mom is what he said.
Your mama wears combat boots. Something to that effect. And he makes it in no small terms that you are unwelcome there. Any member of House Mechanist is unwelcome in his immediate presence.
I would like to butt in and shout at the Bravosi that scum like him should not be threatening the lives of my companions, and especially not the life of poor Daniel here.
I'm so glad I brought the raging racist
over. This is why I'm just talking to Brian.
This is why I came over, by the way, was that just in case this happened.
I think I want to switch to being Brian again.
So you roll.
That's a 12.
Okay. So the Bravosi
Why does this always happen?
The Bravosi laughs at you and he says, what possible, falling asleep. Gather myself. I'm not falling asleep. I'm trying to think about what he says. I'm going to gather myself, center myself, and scene. A man has made no threats against a woman's party. A man does not know what a woman is referring to.
This would be a good time for that note.
I'd like to pull out the note, stick my sword in it, and stick the sword with the note on the table.
Your dinky little sword.
Okay, roll agility.
Oh crap. I'm gonna stick it through my foot. It's gonna go real well.
Actually, you should give it to me, and I'll stick my axe. Before he does that, I use quickness, grab the piece of paper, flick my axe into it, and stick it to the table.
No, I don't know where
You would stick my hand into the table.
I'm standing right there.
You said you're sitting at a nearby table listening, and you do not have the awareness to do that. You attempt to reach for the note and bring out of your macer's robes, but as you pull it out, you accidentally throw it across, and thankfully where the Lucas are saying it hits the wall, but now it is fallen open on the Lucas table.
Oh my gosh!
So
damn
lucky. Getting that for me.
But before any of the Lucases are able to read it, or the Bravosi are able to read it, or learn anything from it, there is a mysterious late arrival to the feast, and the herald shouts.
Probably Lord Sassy.
Awareness. To see what his...
Fine, I'll roll awareness.
I'll just tell you, but
I'd like to roll
it's the next your turn. That's the end of everybody's. That's how everybody's.
Oh God, I rolled 20.
Current interaction is going to end. So it was Ulrich and then Eighth.
It's Ulrich and then Eighth.
Okay, so Ulrich's interaction is next.
Alright, so I'm with Brian Telson.
Yep. So what do you do?
I sit down next to him and say, my friends, that was a glorious battle.
He raises his cup to you, and says, yes, we could not have done it without your excellent martial skill.
I gesture towards his sword and say, it appears you've recovered your lost relic, and seemingly avenged your father's death.
He nods and he draws Scorpion in a very slow manner and meaning no harm, and he hands the hilt to you so you can admire the Valyrian steel blade. It doesn't meet your personal tastes, but it's still quite a fine sword. There is a large red ruby in the hilt that glints in the candlelight, and then there is like red swirls on the blade that kind of looks like smoke down along the blade. But if you look at just right with a little imagination, it is in the shape of a scorpion down the side of the blade. And as he hands it to you, and as you're looking at it, he says, "I'm afraid I haven't been completely honest with you or your companions. My name is not Brian Telson. My real name is Tiger Will. I have been an impoverished noble, landless. My house has been landless for many years since my father's death, and I could not risk my enemies knowing my true name, so I've been using this Brian Telson fake name for quite some time. And I apologize, but at first I did not know whether I could truly trust you."
No offense, my friend. Or I don't know how to phrase that well. I am not offended.
I understand.
I understand, my friend. So what will you do now that you've recovered this relic and avenged your family?
He says, "Well, I do not truly know. I suppose I will move back to Dorne and maybe try to find work all along my way, and I suppose the restitution of my family lands are in order. Now that I have regained my family heirloom, I should be able to prove my lineage now in a way that I never could before. So perhaps I will get my family lands back. If not," and he tries to continue saying what he possibly would do, but there is a mysterious late arrival to the feast, and the herald shouts out, and everybody turns, and you can't know what happens next until 8th goes.
Okay, I don't mind this conclusion.
Of that one guy who's a wrestler that's a meme. Do.
Your turn.
Gonna listen for some rumors, or
I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go take a different. I'm gonna go take a corner. I'm gonna go pick a corner and stand in it. I'm gonna stand up against a wall and I'm gonna watch the rest of the room.
You don't want to listen to the Lugases?
No.
Orton hasn't really been participating in the interaction, and he's been kind of, actually I don't know who he's talking
I believe that Eighth
Could
would
be
kill
talking
one
to
of
somebody.
them if he goes and sits over there. So he's gonna go to a different side of the room.
Okay, roll agility.
Oh, I didn't make it. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9.
You made it.
As
Nice!
long as you don't roll a Bob roll, you're fine.
Pretty much.
You're fine. You make it over there. Do you want to listen to any
Freaking
rumors?
love my agility.
Sure. I listened to a couple of rumors. I will roll. That's a 6. That's a 6. 10. 20. Ooh, wow. That was a nice roll.
That was a nice roll. So you hear a rumor that Maester Ferris, who is the House Dannet Maester, is still in town along with Reuben Piper. And you also hear that Orton Lugas wasn't raised, or Nathan Lugas, his older brother, was raised primarily by his mother, and Orton Lugas was raised primarily by his father Conrad. And Conrad is notoriously more crafty than his wife. And so while Nathan has always had more martial tendencies, Orton has always been a lot more cerebral, to the point where they refer to Orton as the Hand of House Lugas.
Right.
You also hear a rumor that the Lannisters, like the Cleganes, use the Lugases to great effect in their political interactions as well. There is a line that is there's a rumor that the Lannisters supposedly say, "Why send a faceless man when you can send a couple House Lugus scum?" And the same job basically gets done.
That rhymed.
Yeah. Did rhyme. I didn't even do that on purpose.
Who is the guy who's still in town? You said, oh, Danis, the leader, the second command of Danis.
The Danet Maester.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah. Maester Ferris.
Sorry. And with Reuben still.
and Reuben, you know that Reuben Piper is also in town and at the feast.
So...
Can I go talk to him?
So House Danet is without an heir now.
Yeah.
With the girl missing.
With the girl missing.
And
right, and
Adam dead.
And Adam dead.
I'd like to go talk to Reuben.
To Reuben?
Yep.
Okay. Roll agility.
We saw how well that went.
You have to get 9 or better.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
It's 9 or better. So you're able to slip through the crowd and find Reuben Piper. He seems to be sitting mostly alone. He's trying to chat up the people around him. He's not being super successful. But once in a while he is able to hit on a conversation topic that people like listening to. Especially his interactions with different Bravosi and merchants and Essos tend to draw people in, just because that's not something that a lot of people get to do. So yeah, and he says some chuckling, or he says some chuckle, some sort of anecdote about facing down a Dothraki blood rider at one point. And so you can roll awareness, but it's probably unlikely that he actually faced a Dothraki blood rider, or that if he actually did, he probably left wearing his brown pants. So
that's fine. Am I allowed to talk to him, or do you want to move on?
You can talk to him.
Cool.
I'll let you guys say that.
I, of course, have a drink in my hand. I
Okay.
grab a second drink and set it in front of him.
Okay.
And I tell him, I'm from the Mechanists, obviously, you know that.
Okay.
We won this many tourneys, and I'd like to repair as many bridges as we can with the Danets.
Yes.
And help try and find this girl.
Okay.
Would you be willing to give me any information?
Okay. Roll persuasion.
Fuck my life. 4.
He says, well, I certainly respect your wanting to make amends. Unfortunately, I'm not in any position of power in the Danet household, and I certainly don't have any information on Iris's whereabouts. She is my betrothed. If you know where she is, please tell me. I would love to know. But as she is not with me, I obviously do not know where she is.
Do you have any information on what happened to her?
Roll persuasion.
Oh, that's a 1. That's 4.
She
disappeared.
He gets very red in the face, and he says, "I don't want to talk about this anymore. I think this is inappropriate for such an environment as this one."
Can I threaten him?
You may certainly try.
Can we check and see if we know how long ago she disappeared?
You may certainly try. So, you can make this...
No, I'm not near him. So.
Yeah, you're not near him, so you don't know.
Do you have 2 knowledge?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, you would be able to roll knowledge to see if you're able to check how far long ago she disappeared. Okay, so you know that it was... basically right at the betrothal between Reuben Piper and Iris Danet about a month and a half ago. Like right when the two were betrothed, she GTFO'd. and then also from the rumor that I believe that I told you back when you were traveling, the rumor is she wasn't very happy about being betrothed to a fat old merchant.
Well, he's loud, but he's harmless.
He's harmless, but he's not what she wants, and I don't think she's I think she was escaping the possibility of sharing that marriage bed. It's the way a lot of them phrase it.
I'm completely wrong, man.
I would like to very, very carefully, not causing any harm, but also very pointedly slide my utility knife onto the table.
Okay, roll persuasion, because that's intimidating.
Oh, yeah, 11. Much better.
So you slide your utility knife on the table.
Not pointed. I slide it sideways. So my hand is on the hilt, and I can pick it up and push it, but it's sideways. It's not facing directly towards him.
Okay. So you do that, and he looks up at you with a look of incredulousness and like, why are you doing this to me? And before either of you are able to take further action, the herald screams, the Lady Lydia? And a mysterious woman walks in, and Maester Ferris from House Dana is attending her. And she's wearing a flimsy veil, so it does conceal her features, but you can roll cunning knowledge to see if you recognize her body shape.
Cunning or knowledge? Which
Either
one?
or.
Cunning memory, I apologize.
I might as well not even try.
You did better than me.
What'd you get? You do not know who she is. Wait, you recognize her from their description of from the lady who works in the brothel who was hanging out with Brian Tells and Gendry Stanton.
Wait, time out. I want the boob sitting next to me, and with my threatening blade, I want him to tell me.
So, roll.
Chill.
Damn.
Roll chill.
Okay, you also know that you recognize her from the Jade Springs.
That's it.
And
Wow.
I can know since I'm standing next to him, he can whisper to me, right?
No.
Wait, I'm right next to Brian Telson. Can I just ask him?
Yes, you can. Roll
Right.
persuasion.
Knowledge.
It's a 0.
Oh,
But just
I
roll
got a
persuasion.
9.
There you go. He says, yes, I believe, that's Lydia from the Jade Springs.
No shit. Okay, continue.
No shit.
Like, what were you wanting to say?
Freaking Brian.
I don't know anything about her, like who she is as a person, her history, why she matters.
Like, he only knows her as Lydia, and he met her in the Jade Springs. And you know from previous conversations with him that he has a ginormous crush on her and has been trying to court her for some time, but she's also like a very high-priced call girl. Basically, is how we would refer to it now. So
He's an escort.
both of them have been kind of like putting off any sort of actual attraction they may or may not have for one another.
has she moved, or is she still at the door?
She is moving quickly towards the Lugases.
Can I check and see who she's looking at the Lugas table?
Sure. Roll awareness empathy.
Sweet. 15.
She has her eyes fixed on a singular Orton Lugas.
Oh, cool.
Little weasel. Fucking Ronald Provosi.
You do something?
Do a lesbian check.
Two lesbians.
Yeah, do a lesbian.
She's not a lesbian.
Do it anyways. Do it and you're cool.
It's so weird.
I would like to pull the
check.
note that Bob threw onto the table off the table and put it into my pocket.
It's on the
Okay,
floor.
roll
so,
agility. It's on the table. It hit the wall and it fell back on the table. Because where they're sitting is right up against the wall.
6.
You're able to pocket it well enough. Have you taken a turn since you walked in?
No, it's not.
You take a turn.
I'm gonna go back to my conversation with this guy.
Okay, with Reuben Piper?
Yeah.
So...
Actually, screw it. I'm gonna leave him and go to Bob.
Okay, so you're going to navigate towards House Lucas.
Nope, I'm going to our guys.
So you're going to navigate over to House Will.
Oh, I didn't make it. 2, 4, 6, 7.
You crash into a serving waitress, and turkey legs go flying everywhere.
Turkey legs for everyone!
Wow.
Everyone's taking a turn. So Lydia and Ferris have weaved through the crowd, and they arrive at the House Lucas's table, and she asks to speak with Orton. And the three of them, Orton gets up, and Orton, Lydia, and Ferris all move off into a corner to talk amongst themselves.
I'd like to roll stealth to go over and eavesdrop on them.
Okay. Yeah, roll stealth.
What is your stuff?
To see if you can blend into people.
Wow, you have a good stuff. Why do you have such a good stuff?
Because I'm sneaky. 11.
Okay, you are
better
able
one.
to get close, and it is hard to hear over the din of what exactly they're talking about, but it seems to have something to do with a marriage proposal.
I would like to follow the group and sit at a table away from them, but opposite the Bravosi man, and continue glaring at him.
Okay. Roll agility.
11.
Okay, you are able to navigate your way over, so you're kind of out of earshot, but if you roll awareness, you can kind of judge what's happening, like the kind of sort of general topic by the three people's movements, and you are able to successfully continue glaring at the poor Bravosi, who looks back at you every once in a while, but mostly it appears that he's talking very heavily to Marita Lucas, now that Orton is gone.
I don't think you would have been able to knock me out earlier, but continue. I'm sorry.
What?
Reading rules. Continue. I'm sorry.
What?
Nothing. Continue.
House rules. Shut
Agility.
Your dirty bitch mouth.
Agility.
I think
What
it's our
about
guy's
it?
turn.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Argyus, would you like to do something?
So, just to clarify, Brian Telson is now Tygo Will.
Tiger Will, yes.
His name is Tiger,
T-Y-G-R.
Tiger.
and
Tiger.
last name is Will, like W-I-L-L.
Tiger Woods.
W-Y-L.
W-I-L, okay, because they're Dornish and weird.
Tiger.
Because they're Dornish and weird. Very true.
I just want to finish listening to his story.
Okay. He doesn't really have anything else to tell you. He says that now that he's regained his house and land, or now that he's regained his family sword, he wants to try to regain his house of lands, and tried to build his house back up from the devastating murder of his father by Sir Gendry Stannon.
Yeah, he was just about to tell me what he might do if that doesn't work out.
Yeah, but if that doesn't work out, he talks about maybe just working as a traveling sellsword. Maybe he'll stay in Westeros. Maybe he'll go over and try to join some sort of mercenary group over in Nessos. He's heard that the Second Sons are pretty good, but he feels he would be better as a member of the Golden Company, but either one of them are kind of elite forces, so they may not be recruiting, all that sort of stuff. He doesn't really know what he's going to do, but it seems like he's going to leave King's Landing decently soon and try to go back to Dorne.
Well, I say, I wish you the best of luck in restoring your family, and I hope that all goes well. But if you end up looking for work, I'd love to see you again, and perhaps you would find a spot at House Mechanist.
He shakes your hand firmly, and he says, "Thank you, my friend. I will certainly keep that offer in mind."
Right. Where is everyone now? Do I need to walk to someone or somewhere, or can I just enjoy drinks with this man?
You can go wherever you want.
I'm threatening a Bravosi man. Bob is trying to listen to the Bravosi man.
No, I'm trying to listen to Orton Lugas.
Who's there? What's the same
Lydia, Layla, what's her name?
Lydia.
And no, it's just the two of them talking.
It's the two of them and Maester Ferris, who's the Danet Maester.
Okay.
I just want to hear what Bob and Heelbot are doing, so I'm going to sit and enjoy drinks and small talk with Tiger and his companions.
Such a Bay name, Tiger Will. Tiger Will's Bay, too.
Oh, I love
Is he in
him.
the show?
Huh? No. Just think he's Bay. Can't a man think another completely fictitious man is Bay?
No.
Only if the man's name is Gerard.
Oh, hush. Or Leopold. Okay, what does somebody else want to do?
So I already listened and I couldn't hear very much. Can I... shoot, how far away am I from them? While I was stealthy.
You're enough that you're able to hear bits and pieces of conversation, but not the whole thing.
Can I roll stealth to get any closer without being seen?
No, you're as close as you could get without being seen. But you could roll awareness empathy on a character of your choosing to see how they feel about how they're discussing with one of the three people. And I will tell you that the conversation is mostly between Lydia and Orton, and Maester Ferris leans over to whisper into Lydia's ear every once in a while.
What house does Maester work with?
Maester Ferris was the House Senate Maester.
I'd like to do an empathy check on him.
Okay.
Why is he involved in this conversation? Okay. 13.
Okay. You know that Maester Ferris is not really approving of what they are talking about, but still is trying to perform his duties as best to House Dana and the realm.
Can I roll cunning, or can I try and figure out what he thinks his duties are?
Okay, that would be... You can roll knowledge logic for that. Or
Cunning logic?
Cunning logic.
That's probably going to be a pretty hard one to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6. Ooh. Balls. 13.
Okay, so you know that, especially as a maester yourself, you know that your primary duty is in service to your house, and your secondary duty is to the realm. So what that means is really what maesters are a very learned resource for each house to draw upon. So they will usually have some sort of like warfare tactics training. They would be helpful for anything that someone might need advice on. They are older, they are wiser. Their entire purpose is to give advice to maybe younger and more foolhardy and maybe less learned people about the best course of action. Whether the particular lord or lady listens to their maester is a whole other ballgame. But so you know, as a maester, he's genuinely trying to the only reason he would really be there is to if that conversation is affecting the future of House Dana in some way.
Is there a maester for House Lugan that is at their table?
Lucas, you can roll awareness for that.
21.
No, it doesn't appear that the Lucases have a
My
master.
one amazing roll.
You succeeded on every other one.
Yeah, but that's just freaking amazing.
Fine.
Could I roll to see if I have any idea what interest Orton Lucas has in the Dennett house?
Okay. That would also be cunning.
Cunning?
Yeah, it'd be cunning. You're trying to figure out what two people's relation to each other is kind of a cunning logic thing, but since you don't have logic, it would just still be cunning.
So 6.
You don't really know why he would be interested in the Dannets. The only thing you do know is that their lands are reasonably close to next to each other. I would, at this point, let you roll a knowledge check to see if you know anything else about House Lucas I haven't told you before.
Okay. I would like to do that.
Okay.
10. No, 9.
Okay. So, House Lucas is kind of an odd bunch. Obviously, with the information that you already know, but as I've previously stated, they are in Iron Island's house. But they do not believe in the drowned god. They do not follow in the Iron Islands' god, who is the drowned god. Which is kind of odd, and in fact, you don't believe that any of them are particularly spiritual in any way. And they also do not abide by the Iron Price rule. So in the Iron Islands, there is a quote-unquote rule that's called paying the Iron Price. That means if you want to wear, especially as a man, but for women as well, if you want to wear any sort of fancy clothes or jewelry or better swords or anything like that, you have to kill another person and loot it off of their dead body.
Easy.
And that's the jewelry you wear, and that's called paying the Iron Price. And you know that the House Lucas does not pay the Iron Price. They wear jewelry that they pay for with gold, which is kind of a no-no in the Iron Islands. So you know that the Iron Islands has kind of been... The other Iron Islands houses have been kind of trying to push House Lucas off of the Iron Islands for quite some time. House Lucas has stayed rooted mostly because, like the phrase, they have lots and lots of male heirs, and so they just have lots of expendable people that they're able to throw at different battles and things and retain control. But despite that, you also know that Lucas has been trying to get a foothold somewhere on the main land of Westeros for some time, because they kind of just fit in better. They just kind of fit in better there.
Since I'm not doing anything good with my eavesdropping, can I walk over and sit next to troops?
Sure.
Or Barabana?
Roll agility.
9!
You make it.
No serving wenches this time.
Oh, sad.
What have you been learning, Barabana?
I have been thinking about how the Lucas household has been wanting to maybe move on to the mainland, since the Iron Islands don't really like them.
I'd like to perform knowledge to find out how the Lucas, the Dannets, and the Mechanists are related geographically.
That's a knowledge roll.
Okay. Sorry, I just saw you had to change a map.
That's fine.
Oh, no, you're not going to need that map.
What'd you roll?
9.
That's fine.
Let's see if we...
It's gonna be kind of
Was
hard
that also
to
meant-
draw.
No,
But it's gonna be enough so that you know. And I'm probably just going to make a nicer map of this to display for the viewers at home.
Flint's what?
Flint's finger.
Okay.
That's the holding of Lord Robin Flint in the north. Who you're decently close to. You're probably friends with him too, but
And
it's kind of minor.
the damned... Oh. This line is the damned river?
Yes, that line is the damn river. The damn river.
Causing not a lot of problems.
Okay.
was kind of a douche move for us to just stand off.
You didn't think about what the river would do.
It wasn't intentionally malicious.
It was intentionally malicious. You're just trying to increase your own crop yields by getting a better floodplain.
So Flint's finger is between us and the Danites?
Flint's finger is between you and the Danites. It's true.
Is there any representatives from Flint's finger at...
No, the only other northern house there is House Darlhart.
Okay.
Alright.
Shoot, that was a good idea. I thought that was going to be a foothold into our lands.
What do you think?
I think that I was well educated and I'm frustrated now.
Tell your ideas. Roleplay a little bit.
So, well, now that I reminisce on our geography, it seems that wouldn't be an excellent strategy, but I was thinking, perhaps, these foul islanders were attempting to use the Danites to gain a foothold onto the continent, and perhaps an appropriate new home for them in their minds might be our fair house.
I'm not sure that's the case. I think that they've marked the Danites with, now especially, no heirs as an easy place to move in, and they were trying to get us to wipe them out for them.
Yes, but why then would the Maester for House Danit willingly subject himself to the taking over of his own house with such foul company?
Perhaps he thinks that it's the best thing for the house since they have no heirs.
But yet there is no house if it is overrun by foreigners.
Perhaps they've submitted to living under the Danit name.
It is a fascinating concept. I certainly have given up my own clan name to live under another, but I do not know if I would do so under the force of invasion and threat. Only such dire circumstances as my own has forced me into a new group.
I don't think we're going to figure this out by puzzling over it between us.
Indeed. You should do something now, because we're kind of stuck.
What is the general consensus right now?
We don't know anything about the Danites or the Lugases.
Cool, I'm gonna kill someone and see what happens.
All weapons were taken from you at the door, except for personal knives. Except for personal knives. It's for most people, like if they wanted to take like long swords in and stuff, it would be fine, but they're not gonna let you walk in with your bows and axes. All you have is your utility knife.
Who still has their sword? I'm joking.
You have what did you have? Did you get a long sword?
I have a short sword.
You have your short sword.
I have a stiletto.
And you have so your stiletto
I'm
is still
going
on
to
you.
No, I'm joking.
It's a very bad idea. There's so many witnesses here. You're already going to have trouble with the law because of a maester's head exploding. It's a pretty bad idea. And after this turn, something's going to happen. After your turn, something is going to happen.
Go ahead and just push that turn then.
Push that turn? Okay.
I want to take an extra amount of awareness though. I want to be in a position. Again, I'm going to be against a wall. I'd like to be against a wall.
Okay, where were you before?
I was on a lady. But I feel like it's been a long enough time that I have taken a position against a wall.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm kind of just surveying the room.
She got tired of it and let him get up.
Yeah, kind of just got a drink in my hand.
Okay, that's fine.